is one question we've been getting to hear for as long as we can remember. The question is, does money buy happiness? Yeah, tricky, isn't it? This is a story that depicts the answer to this question in the best way possible. Let's watch the full video and find out, shall we? Welcome to Movie Recall. In today's video, we will be going through the 2018 movie $1 Million Man. It's time to recall. Let's get started. Turn on subtitles and spoilers ahead. The movie starts and we see a party going on where the students are dancing around, and then we see some senior students bullying a new boy named Tsukumo. While he is being picked on, a boy named Kazuo comes to his rescue and takes him outside with him. Time goes by and these two come closer. They become best buddies, and with the help of his new friend Kazuo, Tsukumo becomes a confident boy and goes on to tell a story in a rakugo session. He makes everyone understand that unity is the best thing out there. As long as they're together, they're going to be stronger. The boys then decide to take a trip to Morocco together. When they get to the African city, they start looking for their exact destination when a stranger approaches them and offers them his help. However, when he takes them to their destination, he starts demanding money. When Kazuo is about to give the man the demanded amount, Tsukumo stops him, saying that he should not be paying him a single penny because he offered to help them for free and now he is demanding money out of nowhere. The stranger gets angry at this, and after telling two of them, he finally leaves. After that, they make their way to the room and get comfortable. After a while, Kazuo tells Tsukumo that they should keep their money in their shoes as it sounds safe. Tsukumo is a little weirded out by that and tells his friends that he is being extra conscious. They go to sleep after that, hoping to look around the city the next day. Well, they make their way to the market, and while they are in a crockery shop, Kazuo passes out of nowhere. He just goes out cold onto the ground and knocks some crockery as well. The owner right away gets there and demands his money. Tsukumo pays the man and takes his friend to the hospital right away. He wakes up later in their hotel room and thanks his friend for helping him out. He then goes on to ask him about the money, and it turns out that the shopkeeper demanded 300,000 yen, and Tsukumo did not bargain at all because he was too worried about his passed-out friend. Kazuo is now worried about the money, and Tsukumo tells him that he is going to get his money when they get back to Tokyo. He then asks his friend to forget about the money and just try to enjoy his time in the city. They go to a desert the next day, and Tsukumo tells his friend that he is going to start his own business and he is just going to quit college. He tells him that he wants to be independent when it comes to finances, adding that he's sick of it and does not want to wait further. Kazuo is, however, skeptical about the idea and tells his friend that it is not a piece of cake, and on top of that, in order to be able to establish a business, his friend is going to need a lot of money up front. Tsukumo, however, surprises his friend when he tells him that he has been trading stocks for a long time and has already saved 100 million yen. He then goes on to add that his plan is to develop a platform through which people are able to trade online with ease. Tsukumo tells his friend that he knows what he's doing. He goes on to reveal that he has conducted thorough research and he is ready to dive into it now because he is well aware of what people need. And if you are able to understand the needs of the people around you, that is the first step to having a successful business. As he talks about his plans, Kazuo notices that he becomes really confident and does not shy away from expressing what he likes and dislikes. Kazuo is a little offended as well. He thinks that he does not even know his best friend that well. Tsukumo adds that he has always been interested in making a lot of money. He then assures his friend that he is always going to be his friend. After having a nice trip together, the boys lose contact. 10 years have gone by and there is almost no contact between the two. Kazuo is working two jobs. He works at a bread factory at night and at a library during the day. We learn that he has been leading a really hard life doing two jobs because his brother went missing after taking a 300 million loan. He even has to live away from his wife named Masako and his daughter. They, however, come to visit him at times. One day when his family has come to see him, he takes his daughter out in the city and they run into an old lady. She gives them coupons for a lucky draw. They end up winning the lottery tickets. While Kazuo is not thrilled about it, his daughter is optimistic, thinking these might be the winning tickets. Well, Kazuo has the night of his life when he learns that his daughter was right and he wins 300 million yen through the lottery that same night. He is now confused as to how he should move forward with the money. He goes to see some people who won the lotteries, but their financial situation is still bad because they did not have a plan. Kazuo thinks about contacting his friend Tsukumo, who is now a successful businessman. They end up meeting after a long time, and when he tells him about the money, Tsukumo tells him not to keep the money in any bank. Tsukumo asks him to bring the money to him, and Kazuo is relieved, thinking he will make good use of the money and he is going to be able to live with his family again. He then goes on to ask Tsukumo how he should be using the money he is left with, and his friend tells him that he is going to teach him to understand money. He asks the man to throw a party as well, indicating that he should have some fun in his life as well. When they are at the party, Tsukumo makes sure Kazuo is totally hammered and sneaks out of there with all his friends' money. The next morning, when Kazuo wakes up, he is extremely hungover, and when he stumbles his way to the locker, it's empty. He's not able to find Tsukumo, but he goes to see a girl named Akira whom he met last night at the party as well. Akira tells him that she does not know where he lives, but then goes on to add that she does know what is his business. She shows him an app called Bicom, which is used all over Japan. She then takes him to the ex-CEO of Bicom. The man's name is Momose. He goes on to reveal that it was never Tsukumo who made Bicom a successful app. The man just keeps talking himself up, and Kazuo understands that this guy is not going to tell him anything that can be of use to them. Momose then goes on to sprinkle salt on Kazuo's wounds as he tells him that he should not be worried about the money because it was never his money in the first place. He did not earn that money. Kazuo has had enough of it. Kazuo leaves with Akira, and he is extremely disheartened over everything that has been going on since morning. Kazuo now starts wondering why an old friend like Tsukumo would do that to him. Akira says that he must be a really close friend of Kazuo given that he trusted him with his money despite spending so many years apart. Kazuo is, however, determined to find Tsukumo. He keeps searching for him and goes to see another employee of the app. This man's name is Kyoto Senju. He tells him that he stopped working with the company ever since it hit a riff, and also reveals that he and Momose tried convincing Tsukumo to sell the company as well. Kyoto is now a public speaker. Kazuo goes to one of his speeches, and there, he tells people that they should not be running after money as it is just an illusion. They do not need money to pursue their dreams. When his speech ends, the people give him a round of applause and some cheer his name as well. They then go on to throw all their money on the stage, but Kazuo understands that this guy is also a fraud when he sees his staff collecting all that money for Kyoto. Kazuo is devastated to see everyone being so selfish and dishonest. He goes on to confront Kyoto, telling him that he is playing with so many people's lives. Families could get destroyed by the things he tells people and the tips he gives them on money. Kyoto, however, tells him that he has not forced anyone to follow him. All he does is give a speech, and they are believing with all the free will they have. When Kazuo is unable to find help everywhere he goes, he finally gets to contact Tsukumo's former secretary. Her name is Tawako, and Kazuo goes to her hoping she might know about her former boss's current location. While he is on his way to meet her, he stops by his wife's place and she asks him about the money. When he asks her what money, she goes on to tell him that he already told her about the money. Kazuo, on the other hand, has no memory of the money as he told her when he was too drunk to even remember anything. She, however, tells him that she thought he was just kidding around with her, but Kazuo wants to be honest with his wife, so he tells her everything that has been going on lately. He tells her that he is going to pay the debt soon, but she tells him that she is tired of living like that and goes on to ask him for a divorce. He tries to convince his wife to stay, but she tells him that she does not feel like she has a husband anymore and goes on to add that he is not the person she met. She accuses him of not caring enough about his family to be able to make living with them a possibility. He tells his wife that he respects the decision and goes on to meet a woman named Tawako. He was expecting her to be a rich lady with a luxurious house, but she turns out to be a simple woman who is living the life of an ordinary woman. She goes on to tell him that she left the app business because their app was being used for human trafficking. She shares that she tried telling everyone that this is wrong, but no one listened to her because they only cared about the money, and that was there in abundance. She tells Kazuo that she hates recalling those times. She feels like a monster for being part of such a business. She then goes on to add that she married a simple man after getting out of that life, and now she is happy with who she is and how she is living. She and her husband are more than happy to fulfill just the basic needs of their lives. She, however, shocks him when she reveals that she still has a lot of money. She is still a millionaire as she has hidden all the money, and that is how money works. People earn billions, they leave it behind, and this right here is the reality of money. She shares that Tsukumo didn't want to sell the company, but all the others were on one side, so the democracy won. One important thing that Tawako tells him is that Tsukumo used to mention his name a lot, and he once told Tawako that Kazuo is the only friend he has found in his whole life. Kazuo goes to see his wife the next day, gives her the divorce papers, but still asks her to reconsider it. Kazuo tells his wife that he will have money soon and their problems will be solved. She, however, tells him that this is where he is wrong. Money is not their problem, it never was. He thinks about it and realizes that his wife is right. He stops looking for Tsukumo and goes back to working at the library. One day, when he is on his way back from work, Tsukumo shows up on the train and returns him all his money. He asks him how he feels about money now. Tsukumo adds that this is a lesson he wanted his friend to learn. Kazuo tells Tsukumo that he always believed in him, adding that he knows Tsukumo took away the money just to keep him away from doing something stupid with the money. Tsukumo tells him that he made a lot of money, he made billions, but despite making billions, he lost everything because he stopped caring about the things he was supposed to care about. He tells his friend not to make the same mistake as him and prioritize the things that matter the most, and that is not money. While Tsukumo leaves, Kazuo right away goes to buy the dream bike for his daughter. When she comes out of the house the next morning, she is overjoyed at finding the bike out there. He also sends his wife a letter in which he writes that he has now understood what really matters. His wife smiles as she reads it. Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, and click the bell icon to get new movie recaps.